center of the universe and the Thrive15.com world headquarters.
Let's go!
Presenting the world's only business school without the BS with optometrist and entrepreneur Doctor Robert Zoellner and the former Small Business Administration Entrepreneur of the Year in your ear, Clay Clark. It's the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170. 3, 2, 1, boom!
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrive Time Show. It's your audio dojo of mojo faux show. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year and the father of 5 human kids, because that's the way we want to live. We want to have many kids. That's the deal. And typically, Dr. Robert Zoellner is on the show, but today he is out in Guatemala expanding his vast entrepreneurial empire. And so, we had to bring in the big guns. We had to bring in some guys who know what they're talking about. And so we brought in the founder, the founder of Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge. Full disclosure, he's my brother-in-law. But full disclosure, he's my brother-in-law. And we brought in the founder, the co-founder of Trinity Employment. In full disclosure, he's not my brother-in-law. Full disclosure, he's not my brother-in-law. So, Corey, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you, Clay?
I'm excited. It's a Tuesday. Yeah. I could not be more excited to be with you guys on the show today. Justin, how are you doing, man?
Hey, man, I am pumped to be here. And Clay, we are, related there. We go way back.
We do go way back.
So. But this is awesome and excited to be here.
Now, we are inside the box that rocks. Sharita has just showed up with some Subway sandwiches. Life could not be better. But, guys, today we're talking about a hot topic. This is something that everybody who's listening right now, if you've ever wanted to start or grow a business, you need to hear today's show. Now, check it out. According to Forbes magazine, 57% of the American population wants to start a business at some point. And if you do start a company, if you do invest the time and energy to start a company, eventually, once you learn how to sell something, that's the thing. You don't really have a business. You're not really an entrepreneur until you can sell something. Before you're just an idea guy. You see, ideas are easy. The execution is hard. But once you can sell something, now you have a business. But the problem is, how do you get other people to sell something? How can you get other people to deliver on what you just sold? And so I'm going to start here as we get into the 4 super moves. I'm going to pick on Justin here. I want to start with Justin, okay? So Justin, super move number 1. You want to start with the big question, why are you in business? That's the first 4 super moves for hiring people effectively. 4 super moves for hiring great people. You got to start with the move of asking yourself, why am I even in business? Justin, why do you have to know what you're all about and what your business is all about before you start hiring people?
Yeah, so you got to know the why and the what. And if you don't know what your why and your what is, you're not going to be able to clearly, set the vision for the team.
Now, elephant in the room, when you walk into the elephant in the room, describe for the listeners, because a lot of people are listening and they have yet to come in for the $1 first haircut challenge. It's the $1 first haircut challenge, where anyone who's listening, if you just mentioned you heard Justin on the radio show, it's $1 for your first haircut. But can you kind of describe the experience there?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Your first visit in elephant in the room, I believe in the experience so much that all guys that haven't had it before come in for $1. It's pretty crazy. When
you come in for $1, what can you expect, my friend? Is it somebody just chopping your hair, cutting your mop, and then all of a sudden you leave? Is it very super cutty? Is it very great clipsy?
I don't know. I haven't been to those places, but at Elephant in the Room, we focus on the experience. So, from the time you walk in, you're the number one. So customer service is just definitely a key point in what we do. But hot towels, paraffin hand treatments.
Hot towels?
Essential oil scalp massage.
Essential oil scalp massage. You have paraffin hand dip. You've got, Corey, have you been in there yet?
I've been, yeah.
Can you kind of describe it for the listeners? I mean, what was your perception the first time you walked into an elephant in the room?
Well, it's definitely not like your average anywhere you would go get your hair cut as a guy, generally.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are just so many different things. Like I've always been a barbershop guy because I'm a small kid from a small town.
Yeah.
And I go in there and I can't believe they're offering me a drink before I get started. Once I get in there, they gave me a scalp massage. I've never had a scalp massage in my life, but that is something. It's
and you've
really
got Edison
nice.
bulbs. You got Edison bulbs up there. You've got the barnwood, historic barnwood. You've got custom made countertops. It's kind of like a country club for men's hair. It's like you go into a cabin.
Next level. It's definitely next level.
It's next level. So I'm just telling you, you got to treat yourself. You haven't had it before, and there's 5 things about the elephant in the room that I think make it unique from my perspective. And when Justin first pitched the idea to me, I thought he was nuts. But there's 5 things I've grown to appreciate. One is you walk in, the music. It's a high energy. It feels like you're in Miami or like you're in New York or Austin, Texas. It doesn't feel like you're in the DMV. 2 is the smell. You're very intentional about the smell. It's great ambiance to it, the aromas, the level of conversation. You sit there and coach people over and over about the importance of having a thoughtful conversation, the tailored haircut itself. It's just, and then the final thing is the fact that it's a membership model. You get to see familiar faces and you don't have to wait, and the whole thing is neat. But you want to, Justin, your goal, your business, and tell me if I'm wrong, is to make copious amounts of money while providing an awesome service. Am I wrong? Am I missing something?
We are definitely a for-profit company.
What?
For-profit.
Is that ethical?
But if I can help enough people reach their goals, whether it be financial or just the mental mindset, I can reach my goals. And I knew with Elephant in the Room that I had that experience. I had that music, the smell, the conversation, the haircut, the membership. I had that down, and that's why I came after you, heavy and intense, right there. And,
it was heavy and intense.
Because no matter how well my build out was, if I couldn't get people inside, they wouldn't be able to experience it, see it, and then you fail.
He needed the jerk. You need to call in the big guns. He brought in the jerk, and we helped market that beast. Now, here's the thing: I'm going to read you a notable quotable from Tony Hsieh. This is the CEO of Zappos. He says this, and Corey, I want to pick your brain on this.
Yeah.
He says, even if a person is great at their job, even if they're a superstar at their job, if they're bad for our culture, we'll fire them for that reason alone. And performance reviews are 50% based on whether you're living and inspiring the Zappos culture and others. So if you're listening right now, what I want you to do is write down the goals for your business. And you're going, okay, let's work with me. Write down the goals for your business. And these are the 6 areas. 1, write down the goals for your business as it relates to your faith. My faith? Can I even talk about my faith at my business? I just took down my American flag to not offend the millennials. I don't know. 2, your family goals. What are your family goals? How does your family fit into the business? 3, financially, what are your financial goals? What are your fitness goals? What are your friendship goals? And in Dr. Z's favorite, what are your fun goals? What are things that you want the business to be able to fund? What are some fun things you want to do that you want your business to pay for? Corey, your company is called Trinity Employment.
It is.
Let's break that down. The word Trinity indicates Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Am I missing something?
Holy Spirit. No, you're not missing anything. That's it.
You named your company after the Holy Trinity?
We did, yes.
Is that offensive to some people?
It has been.
And so, okay, so I'm going to ask you the question. Why are you in business? Are you in business because,
I'm offended.
I'm just saying, why are you and Amber in business? You and your wife started the business together. Why are you in business as you look through these goals and the faith, the family, the finances? Why are you in business, man? What's your thing?
Well, first, what started me out in wanting to be in business is I just had a passion for helping people find employment whenever they were struggling, especially when you had someone who was underemployed, and they had potential to do something greater. And when you found that, I had a niche in my personality for being able to see that in other people. And so when you gave them a purpose and some direction and an ability to move up, it was something that was really inspiring. But what has turned in, now that we've built the business into something that has been really, really great, our why has turned into helping other people out. The Oklahoma Baptist Children's Home, we send a lot of money to them. And a group called Plumline Ministries, that's our why. And so now we get to do what we love, and we get to support something that's much greater than ourselves. And so that is our why. That's why we do. That's why we love.
You guys are better people than I am. I'm going to tell you a little quote that kind of ties into my why. This is from Colin Powell. By the way, Colin Powell, just a little background on Colin Powell. He, under the 65th President of the United States, he was the 65th United States Secretary of State, serving under President George Bush. He was a retired 4-star general. This is Colin Powell. Okay, Colin Powell. He says this. He says, this is his goals. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. What? I thought, that's so weird. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Enter Doctor Robert Zoellner, who's not here today. One of the things that he encouraged me to do is this thing called seclusion. And I go, what? Because I enjoy spending massive amounts of time by myself or with people I choose to be with. And I thought it was kind of weird. I've never had someone validate this. And he goes, no, you need to invest time fully in your wife and your kids and the people you choose to be with, but you don't have time freedom if you're not choosing who you're with. And I'm going, oh my gosh. Well, then I had a company, and Justin remembers, it was called DJ Connection, and it was Christmas Eve of 2000 or it was New Year's Eve of 2000, and I want to say it was like 5 maybe. And I had a team of about 50 DJs, and I just heard this. I just heard him talk about it, and I just read this Colin Powell quote, and I went, oh man. So it was about 3 days before Christmas Eve. I told the guys, moving forward, if anyone is late, you will be fired. It all. Because I'm talking, because I remember, I used to load in all the DJs, and I'd be up till 3 a.m, and the guys would finish their show at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they would come back at 3 a.m.
I'm gonna have a drink.
They're gonna seriously, and so I would have to wait all night for the guys, and some guys wouldn't come back at all. They'd come back the next day. So I lost my entire Sunday and my Saturday every weekend waiting for these DJs. So the first guy comes in about 30 minutes late. I said, hey. His name was Josh, not Josh Smith, by the way, if you're listening. Josh Smith was great. Josh Smith was awesome. This is a different Josh. He comes in, and I said, hey, did you get my email? Yep. Did you get my call? I remember talking to you. Yep. I just want to let you know you've been a great job as a DJ. You're fired. He goes, what? I said, yeah, I've been here 3 years. Say you're fired. And next guy, hey, awesome seeing you, Bobby. How you doing, Bobby? Good show tonight. Yep. Hey, you're fired. Next guy. Fired.
How long did it take? For surely somebody saw a pattern.
I think I fired in one day, and Jason Bailey, who now owns DJ Connection, could attest. Yeah. I think I fired 25 men in one night. And what I did is I replaced them all with people I had been training during the month of December who are all on time. And that drama in my life left. And we ended up having a great team, and it was awesome for me. Now, that might seem intense for you listening, but I'm telling you this. If you're listening right now and you want to hire people are going to buy into you as the entrepreneur. So if you come to my office, you're going to see an American flag. You're going to see an Israeli flag. If you go into Justin's business, you're going to see a man with a beard, because that's him. He has a beard.
Marca.
He's got a beard.
Yeah, but I mean, Justin, you're a Christian guy. You have certain values. You believe in America and capitalism. Corey, you believe in the Trinity, the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. Yeah. And your personality is going to repel or attract people.
Yeah, it will.
And it freaks people out when you don't stand for anything. So if you're listening right now, I want you to write down your goals for your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, your friendships. Basically, write down what you're all about, and then make sure that personifies itself in the business. Because people, Corey, have you ever referred a top talent to an employer, and the top talent goes, I just don't want to work for that kind of person?
Oh, yeah.
A lot?
And in fact, a lot of companies will lose A players. A players will get in there and realize who they're working with. And once they see that they're not doing the things that they said that they were going to do, or some of the employees that they work with, it can get bad, and they quit, and you lose somebody great.
Now, Thrivers, when we come back, we're going to walk you through super move number 2. Super move number 2, which is, when do you start looking for people? Now that you know what you're all about, when do you need to start looking for top talent? Stay tuned. Thrivetime Show.
This show is brought to you by Adobe Creative Cloud. If you're a photographer, graphic designer, video editor, podcaster, business owner, or just creative genius, this is for you. All of your creative tools, all in one place. Creative Cloud includes the entire collection of creative apps for desktop, from favorites like Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator to new tools like Adobe Experience Design. Check this out. You can create podcasts seamlessly in high quality with Adobe Audition. Did you miss the exposure or looking to create a stunning and beautiful photo? You gotta download Lightroom, okay? The latest release of Adobe Creative Cloud is here with incredible new features in Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, and all of your favorite apps, plus millions of Adobe stock assets and new premium images are built right in. so you can turn your brightest ideas into your best work fast. Make sure that you check out Adobe Creative Cloud. It's at adobe.com. Once again, Adobe Creative Cloud at adobe.com.
Live, local, now. You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation, T-Town, Oklahomies, welcome to the Thrivetime Show, where we are talking today about the 4 super moves for hiring people effectively. So many people tell me, they say, I can't find good people. It's so hard to find good people. So many people say, you know what, I would start a business, but I can't find good people. So many people say I meet people who can't find a job. So I'm trying to figure out, is there not good employers? Is there not good people? Well, today we're taking we're taking the side of the employer, and we're teaching you, if you are a business owner, how to find good people. I'm joined here with the founder of the Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge, Justin Moore, the mysterious bearded wonder. Sir, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. For you out there that are watching Facebook Live, or not, pull over the car right now. Watch. Look at this glorious beard.
It is. What have you named the beard? Does it have its own name at this point?
People do acknowledge the beard before me. It's strangers. You're out shopping, and my wife's like, "Why are these? The guys are complimenting your beard. Guys are like, nice beard, bro.
Nice beard, bro." And we have the co-founder of Trinity Employment, Mr. Corey Minter. Sir, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing really great, Clay. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, now we're talking about the 4 super moves, again, for hiring people effectively. Now, super move number 2 is when to start looking. You have to know when to start looking. And Jack Welch, the CEO of GE, who he grew the company, I want you to think about this. When he took over, the company wasn't growing very much. It was like a 2% annual growth, barely keeping up with inflation. When he took over the company, they grew by 4,000%. 4,000%. He says this: good business leaders create a vision, articulate the vision, and passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion. And part of driving it to completion is finding good people, hiring, firing, training, mentoring, keeping, coaching good people. So, Corey, if I'm listening right now, when do I need to start looking for good people?
Now.
What?
Yeah.
Listen to the show, and I'm going to go to Oklahoma Joe's here in a minute. I don't have time to look for good people now. I got to go to Oklahoma Joe's first.
Recruiting never stops. I don't think you should ever stop recruiting, and always be looking for top talent. If you look back at some of the most successful businesses in the world, the CEOs of those companies will tell you that the reason that they got there is because of the talent that they were able to acquire. And so when you can't count on finding the best talent every time when you are in crisis mode, and you wait until someone quits to be able to go look.
Now, for people who are listening, right now, one thing I think a lot of people get wrong is they go, "I already have a good team, though. I already have a good team. My team is awesome. I do not need to recruit. I don't need to invest the money in hiring a recruitment firm right now. No, because things are good until you lose a key person." So, Justin, I want to ask you, you've built Elephant in the Room into a juggernaut, a dominant force in the men's grooming business. It's doing well. Have you ever had a time when you've been growing the business, things are going good, and the sales are going great, and you're going, "I'm at Elephant in the Room, making money, things are great. All right," and then, key employee quits. Has that ever happened?
Yeah, I'd say when we first started, and you got 4 employees, and you lose one, you just lost 25% of your business, or
Yeah.
And a couple of things early on is I thought small, it kept me small, and so the quicker you can think big. But as far as looking for potential talent, know what to look for. So me personally, I tell my team, and we look for people that are professional. They build trust in the eyes of others, and they build confidence in the eyes of others.
Can we break those down real quick? So you said they're professional.
One, they're professional.
What does that mean?
A lot of people need to look up the definition, because we don't want to know necessarily what my or your, look at my beard, look at my hair, But it means, what is professionalism?
Professionalism in the context of that industry.
Correct. So I say, don't say anything or share anything with anyone that doesn't build trust or confidence in the eyes of them.
Okay. So
I wouldn't be like, "Hey, I got really drunk last night and it was crazy."
In the job interview, you're saying this.
Oh yeah.
"Hey,
sorry, I'm a little late.
Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I'm a little bit drunk." No, you can't. There's people, by the way, who you interview who say these things.
This is true. This is true.
For just true story, I was interviewing somebody for the elephant in the room back in the day, and I've met these people because what happens is they would come in to interview with Justin, then they would go to the bathroom or they'd run around the building, or somehow we would interact. I remember one guy, he literally was going, "Hey, I got to tell you what, man, I really appreciate this job, and it's going to be awesome. You know, my friend is going to pick me up here in a minute. I hope it's just one thing about me, transportation is going to be hard because I don't know if I can get to work consistently. That's why I lost my last job. And I got to tell you what, my last boss, I'm kind of glad I lost that job because my boss actually was very difficult to work with. And you're going, dude, I just found out you don't have a car. I just found out you're having transportation problems. I just found out you got fired. Calm down.
People will actually tell you everything you need to know through their actions or by their words and letting you in on stores.
Being professionals,
and that's what you find out when you're reactionary, because you've got to go through those interviews to find your A players. But one of the things that I like to tell people that can really save them a lot of money, I think a lot of the reason why people don't continue to recruit all the time is because they think, well, I've got to place an ad out there and it's going to cost me a lot of money, and that's the way that you recruit. But I mean, I've got like 2 or 3 things that you can do right now that is literally free. It doesn't cost you a daggone thing.
Give us your things. What are your things?
Here are a couple things. Start with your network. Let people know that you're looking for this, that, or the other, whatever it is that your job description. Give them a brief job description. You can do this on social media. Social media is such a large platform now that you can utilize this and send out a decent job description and start having people consistently send people. The thing is you never want to stop, and you want to continuously drip that.
So one is network. Let your whole social media know you're looking to hire, but do it all the time.
Yeah, you want to do it all the time. And so then you don't just want to use your network, so you send it out to your friends. You can also use your network's network by saying, if you know of someone, please send this out if you would. And if we find someone and we find out that it's from you, we would love to offer you a
steak dinner.
Yeah, a steak dinner or something like that. That is so much cheaper than spending $200, $300, $400 trying to put out one ad. And I think that's the reason a lot of people don't recruit consistently, and that's a free way of doing it, and it brings the better results.
I have a little move that I have done for years.
What is it?
It is every single week. Every week, I have not stopped since I was 18. So this is now I'm 36. So it's 18 years in a row. I post every single week job posts. I'd never stop. I never stop. And I'll tell you what, there was a time where about 7-8 months ago, we had an all-star squad, and then one guy on our team, doing some weird stuff. And so I had to let the guy go because he's doing some things that weren't ethical. They're actually illegal. Let the guy go. And when I let the guy go, his friend's like, dude, you're going to just fire a friend of mine like that? That's not cool, bro. And then you lose 2 guys, and all of a sudden, but because I always have a pipeline, I always have a list of resumes. I have a guy from Pepperdine who I've never met who just sent me his resume today, and he goes, hey, I'm looking forward to starting in May. I have no idea who this person is, but apparently Marshall interviewed him, and he's ready to go. And I'm telling you what, there will be turnover between now and then because the average American, look that up. During the break, I encourage you to Google this. Look it up. How long does the average person stay at their job? I challenge you to
it's not nearly as long as it used to be.
People used to get a job back in the day. They'd go to church, they'd go home. They get a job, they go to work, they go to church, they go home. They do the same thing for like 30 years at the same factory. Now people are switching jobs every 6 months.
So true.
People are rotating those jobs. So when we come back, we're going to get a little bit, we're going to dive really, really deep into this concept of when to start looking, into the specific action steps that you can take today if you're going, I need somebody yesterday. I am in a bind, and I need to find a great talent now. Corey's going to teach us how to find top talent now.
Are you a business owner? You need to ask yourself right now, how are you backing up your files and important documents? Most businesses have no system for the files in their business. If this is you, you got to use Dropbox. At least sign up for one of their 30-day free trials. Real talk, it's the secure file sharing and storage solution that employees and IT administrators trust. You get as much space as needed at no additional cost. You get unlimited file recovery and versioning, basically creating new versions, and valuable admin controls for secure sharing and collaboration with Dropbox for Business. You got to check this out. After using Dropbox, you'll definitely feel more secure knowing that a virus or power surge can't ruin your computer and your entire business. Try full access to Dropbox Business for 30 days. Head over to Dropbox.com to get started. Again, Dropbox.com to get started.
You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to your inspiration station and the place that you go to learn how to start and grow a successful business. My name is Clay Clark. Google it. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, and I'm excited to be here today inside the Box That Rocks, talking about a subject that we have so many people. Literally, we've had dozens and dozens of people who've emailed us this question going, how do you find good people? People look at Dr. Zoellner and Associates and his successful optometry clinic. They look at his auto auction. They look at all of his businesses, and they go, how do you find top people? How do you find top talent? And we're going to teach you today how he does it, how I do it, how we do it, and to bring some realness to it, to bring some real people who have boots on the ground. They are in it every day. We have the founder of the Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge, Justin Moore, on the program, and the founder of Trinity Employment, that's Corey Minter. Corey, I want to ask you, if I'm listening right now and I need to find somebody right now, I need to find somebody last week. I have a spot in my office. It's a horrible vacancy. My wife and I are each working 70 hours a week because we're trying to fill the spot. What can you do for me?
Probably, I think the very first thing that you should do if you are in that kind of a need, contacting a company like ours is probably the very fastest way.
What's the name of your company?
Our company is Trinity Employment Specialists, trinityemployment.com. And if you are looking for employees and you need to have them now, one of the things that we do, we never, ever stop recruiting. So we just talked about earlier you never stop recruiting. Ever? Well, that's one of the benefits that a company like Trinity Employment has, is that we never, ever stop looking for people. But the difference, this is very important, I believe, is we're also a company that puts quality over quantity over and over and over again. We never want to make money when we sacrifice our quality. And that is so important. And if you're not in this area, or you don't want to use Trinity, that's something you want to look for in a staffing company. But we would love... Yeah,
well, I've used Trinity before. and I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna complain, and then I'm also going to praise. It's a weird thing. So, from the outsider perspective, you go, I've heard about these staffing companies. You got to pay them extra money for for them to find people. Well, it's like going to Chick-fil-A and getting upset that the food costs more than just the raw cost of the chicken. You obviously have to pay someone to cook the chicken, serve the chicken, market the chicken, heat up the chicken. Chick-fil-A, obviously it's more expensive than the cost of you just buying chicken. You know what I'm saying? So you are paying a markup. Yes, check it out. They're making a profit. They're making a profit. I thought these guys were ethical people. Yeah, they are making a profit. But the thing is, when you're making a profit, Corey, because we're not in a communist country, you have to make a sustainable profit, which means you have to take care of the customer. And so we hired you to staff people for us, and you found us somebody. And yes, we paid more. I think the person we hired, we hired him for $10 an hour, and we paid you on top of the $10 an hour. We had to pay you a commission or a fee to find the person, but you brought him in that day. Well, and oh, by the way, they no longer work with us, but they work at DJ Connection, a company I sold. Still, yeah. I think Paul is still there. The guy you found instantly. Well,
and that's exactly what. The reason that you want to utilize a staffing company is to ensure that you get an A player. And yes, up front, we cost a little bit more money, but in the long run, we will save you money. If we get an employee that stays there for years and years and adds a lot of value to the company, well, then you save that company a lot of money. We've had a lot of companies who bring in, who have had a horrible turnover rate. And when you bring quality and bring A players to them, A players attract other A players. They do almost 1.5 times the work. And they're just much more pleasant to work with.
Now, for anybody out there who's really, really trying to recruit an A player, and he's a guy, he's kind of a spiritual sponsor of the show. If you're looking for an A player who owns a bank, if you own a business right now and you're going, I need an A player who owns a bank. It'd be awesome if I could find a front desk guy who also owns a bank. If he could bring, if Justin, you and I are trying to find some great people to work at Elephant in the Room right now, we would love to have a guy who owns a bank, to be our front guy. And I'll tell you, if you're looking for that guy, you're looking for Sean Copeland. If you know Sean Copeland, just send him a text right now. Tell Sean Copeland. Say, Sean Copeland, he's the owner of Regent Bank. Say, the guys at Elephant in the Room are trying to find a front desk guy, a guy who can help really, because Elephant in the Room is bursting at the seams. Justin is expanding now the downtown location. I mean, great things are happening. We're literally booked out solid, and we're looking for some more front desk people, and we want one who owns a bank. And so if you'll just send Sean Copeland a text, if you hear him right now, just send him a text. Say, Sean, there's people on the radio talking, and I guess they're looking for a front desk guy who owns a bank. We're willing to pay up to how much, $13 an hour for a front desk guy who owns a bank?
Yeah, so in our industry, as far as the question, where to start, and then, when to start, one is for us, customer service, retail. This is the busiest season. This is make or break.
This is December, baby.
After 4 years of realizing you've got to prepare and put yourself in a situation for the growth. And so for us, that's we turn away so many people. So I went from 30 employees, and I said to one of my employees, district manager, I said, we're going to grow this business overnight. We're going to blow it up. And so I found,
in a good way,
I found 15 people in less than a week by asking my top employees, hey, do you have a friend? Do you know a friend? And I asked the top employees. You know why I asked the top employees?
What'd you ask them?
I said, do you have a friend that thinks like you, that acts like you, that likes to work, that shows up on time? I didn't ask my bottom 20%. I asked the top percent, right?
That's a knowledge bomb.
And we grew an extra 15 employees, and we were able to take advantage of the busy season.
Knowledge bomb.
A players want to hang out with other A players.
Okay,
they want to win. So we create that winning atmosphere, the winning team. I noticed of sports, I noticed in football, the Patriots have a new roster every year, right?
They do.
Every year. Not the same team.
They do.
And they win every year.
They win. The thing about it is we're looking at the Patriots squad here. Just a quick review here. The Patriots, this is just an idea. I love the Patriots. But what they did is they go out there and they sign this guy named Griff Whalen. They have a guy who gets hurt, Griff. And so on 12/9, this is December 9th, they sign wide receiver Griff Whalen. Well, then on the 15th, they cut Griff Whalen, and they signed Michael Floyd, a receiver they landed off of waivers from Arizona. Well, you mean they signed a guy and cut him 6 days later? Well, this is what Jack Welch says about it. Jack Welch says, change before you have to. And here's the thing, Dr. Z always talks about this, and Dr. Z, you'd be proud if you're listening right now from Guatemala. I tell you what, you'd be proud to hear this. Dr. Z says, one of the biggest problems in business, and I said, what's that? He goes, a lot of people, they have good people, and they're not willing to replace them with great people.
It's very true.
And I'm like, that's not very nice to say, but if you think about it, imagine this is the guy. Imagine that you own a professional sports team, and you have a guy by the name of Carl Lewis who you've hired, and he's the only guy that you know, and this is how he sings the national anthem. You have to sing it. He does it every week. This is your guy. He's pretty good, or not good.
Oh, say, can you see?
But you're related to him. But you won't fire him. People have to put up with this every night. Here we go.
For the land of the free.
Oh, brutal, Carl. That's unbelievable. That's Carl. So the thing is, imagine if that was the guy you had in your office, and he's answering the phones the way that Carl sings the national anthem, or he's doing your paperwork the way Carl sang the anthem, or he's greeting customers the way Carl sang the anthem. But you're not willing to replace him because he's a good guy. Customers don't care. They're just not coming back.
You'll get what you tolerate.
When we come back, Thrivers, I'm going to tell you a story when we come back about a business that all of us are avoiding because they don't have great people. There's a business out there we're all avoiding because they don't have great people. We come back. You're going to learn more about it.
For the professional-looking man out there, this is for you. Are you tired of waiting for hours in disorganized barbershops around town? Are you maybe looking for an upscale haircut experience instead of being treated like a little kid? If either of these thoughts crossed your mind, then Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge is for you. The Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge is proud to offer a variety of packages and memberships for discerning men and regular customers who wish to maintain their tailored look while receiving discounts off of services and products. They're going to bring you in, they'll offer you a beverage, identify your style that you're going for, get you a tailored haircut from one of the professional stylists, wash your hair, and then style it afterwards so you could even go back to work. The experience is awesome. They even do cool things for members like a free nape shave on Mondays or a peppermint oil scalp massage on Tuesday. Check out one of the locations near you and book an appointment. You can check them out at eitrlounge.com or just dial 918-877-2219. Seriously, you're going to love it. 918-877-2219 or visit eitrlounge.com to book an appointment today.
You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to your inspiration station. We are broadcasting live right now on this beautiful Tuesday from the left coast of the Arkansas River, and we are nestled inside the Thrive15.com world headquarters and within the box that rocks. It is incredible. It is the Thrive15.com world headquarters, and I'm telling you what, if you've ever wanted to start or grow a business, this is sort of like the nerve center of many successful Tulsa companies. You want to go out there and you want to find the top auto auction in town, that's Doctor Robert Zoellner. You want to find the top optometry clinic, that's Doctor Robert Zoellner. You want to find the top place for dudes who care about their hair. You want to find the top men's grooming lounge. This is the guy right here. It's Justin Moore, the founder of the Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thanks for having me out today.
Hey, we are excited to have you within the box that rocks, the friendly confines. And I'm telling you what, and if you're looking for the best staffing company in Tulsa, well, what does that mean? I'm talking about if you're looking for good people and you're like, I don't have time to interview them, I don't have time to do job posts, I don't have time to write descriptive narratives to find them, I am just very busy and I literally need a guy. I just need a guy right now. I need someone for my medical clinic, for my bank, for my office, for my oil and gas company. I need somebody. Corey Minter can find people. Corey, oftentimes within hours, right?
That's right. We never stop recruiting. We talked about it earlier. Never stop recruiting. That's what we do.
And you started a company called Trinity Employment. For those people who've never heard about Trinity Employment, can you kind of explain what is Trinity Employment? What is Trinity Employment?
What? Trinity we're a staffing company. We work in this entire region. We do a lot of work in Oklahoma City and in Tulsa. Our main areas, Clay, are in the medical field, almost everything that you can think of in the medical field, banking, accounting, finance, and oil and gas.
Speaking of banking, if anybody's listening right now and you know of somebody who is the CEO and the founder of a bank who is also wanting to work as a front desk member of the Elephant in the Room. Right now, Justin, I mean, what positions are we hiring for at Elephant in the Room right now? What are some of the positions we're hiring for right now?
Lounge coordinators, managers, grooming professionals.
Grooming professionals. If you want to cut hair. And so what we're looking at, we made a list, we made a description of the kind of things we're looking for from the top person. I'm going to read it. Justin and I did not go over this together, but I sort of read his mind. First off, we're looking for somebody whose name is Sean Copeland.
Ooh.
So if you know somebody named Sean Copeland,
man, he'd be a great employee over there.
Whoever this may be, he needs to kind of sound like Joel Osteen, and he needs to be the CEO of a bank and the president of a bank, and he needs to own many other companies, and he needs to be gainfully employed. He needs to be the kind of man who's not looking for a job. If you know of a Sean Copeland, please send him a text and say they're talking about you on the radio right now, and apparently they're willing to hire you.
And if it's possible that he hasn't responded back to you yet, he probably needs another reminder, wouldn't you think, Clay?
Yeah, well, you want to hit him up on Facebook, whoever this is, because I've told you the kind of person we want the kind of person who prefers about 45 text messages within an hour. So that's what he's looking for. That's the kind of person. No, but seriously, guys, we were talking about how you got to start looking for great people all the time. You have to start that process. You got to do it. And the thing is, if you don't, you're going to end up with some bottom feeders. I'm talking about the carp. And so I am going to share a story. I'm not going to mention the name of the business, but this is what happens. My wife and I, we go to Oklahoma City. We're going to like a Thunder game. Can you relate to this, Corey? Have you ever been to a Thunder game?
Oh, yeah. They're great.
Justin, you've been to a Thunder game?
Oh, yeah.
So you're in the car with the wife, and you know how it goes. You get in the car, and you get on the I-44, right? You're heading west.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't stop to go to the restroom before you start your trip, you're not going to have any more quick trips after you get past what, like Bristow or something?
Yeah.
So now you're on the highway, you're headed west, right? And your wife, because I've been married 15 years, and you've been, Corey, how long have you been married, man?
13 years.
13. Justin, how many years have you been married now?
Just over 2 years.
2 years. So you're in the car, but you know it's going to happen. It's predictable. Eventually, somebody's going to have to go to the restroom. And if you're a guy, we'll call you a stander.
It's going to happen.
And if you're a lady, we'll call you a non-stander.
Okay.
We won't get into all the details. But then you go, they'll say, honey, I need to go to the bathroom. And you're like, hey, no big deal. I'm gonna pull over. And so you pull over, and the place you pull over to is not a quick trip. Mm-mm. So you go into that place. Usually it's like a Subway. It's a gas station. I'm picturing it's a gas station that has like a Subway in it, and it typically sells a lot of like CB radios, and they also will sell you a shower.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Or the key's attached to like a log that you can't steal. You got to go to the outside.
So I said, sir, I'm trying to get a key here for my wife. She needs to go to the restroom. And so he goes, well, I'll tell you what, I'll get you a key here. And it's like the winter. It's cold, very cold. I'll tell you what, because you're going to a Thunder game. He said,
you got to love the outside bathroom, too.
So, man, I'll tell you what you want to do is you want to take this, and you want to give, this is what you need. And you're going, did you just give me a tire? He gives you like a tire attached to.
I got a 2x4 one time.
A 2x4 attached with to the key.
Yeah.
And you knock on the door, and you say, hey, honey, I got a key to the bathroom. And they're going, it's outside? And they make that look where they go, I'm not going in there. Has this ever happened to you guys?
It happened to me not long ago, but it was so bad. It wasn't my wife though. It was my daughter, and apparently she's a little bit picky, and she just refused to go, and she's somewhat young, so it was a big deal.
You said picky. I think people don't want to get a disease, Corey. They don't want to die while using the restroom.
No, man. I mean, she was not going to tolerate this, Clay. Like, it was not going to go down
an option.
that day. No, she went on the road. She made a stop later on the road outside.
How are the people of Oklahoma City getting by without a quick trip? How is it possible?
I don't know, but my daughter she's not a fan.
This just in. Oklahoma City would like to hire Mr. Chet Cadjo to fix their gas stations. This just in. But here's the thing is, seriously, when you have not top people working, it becomes a culture, right?
It does.
Is it not predictable that every one of those gas stations is nasty if they're not a quick trip?
I don't think that the employees that want to go in there, they don't even want to clean it, so they don't want to go in there.
It attracts no, Justin, this is where it gets real. You and I, when we built Elephant in the Room, it was your vision, it was your passion. My job was to kind of market that business. Mm-hmm. How frustrated would you be when you'd walk into the bathroom and there weren't towels for the customers, or the bathrooms weren't clean, or whatever anytime? I mean, how much did it irritate you?
Well, the details matter. So if you're in business right now, or learning or wanting to launch a business, and you're listening right now, the details matter. And so you may think, we're in haircuts, Elephant in the Room. Haircuts just matter. There's so much more. The details matter. So there's so many people that said, wow, your place is so clean. And they come back just for that.
I will say this, and I'm telling you this right now. If you do not irritate at least one person a day because you're holding them to your standards, Steve Jobs says that most people, this is Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. Oh, by the way, the guy who also took Pixar and grew it. Pixar was started by George Lucas, the Star Wars guy. He started that business, and Steve Jobs took over it, and he launched the Toy Story. Steve Jobs, he says this, most people are not used to an environment where excellence is expected. And I'm telling you what, if you're not irritating at least one member of your team per day by holding them accountable to your high standard, you don't have a standard.
Clay, I think that a lot of employers, it surprises them when they're in the middle of the tree, so they can't really rise up and see what's really happening. But you're just going to get what you tolerate. I remember the very first employee that I hired in a certain position, and I tolerated him. I would ask him, so what'd you get done today? Do you schedule any meetings for us today? He'd be like, no, but man, and he would give me this great story.
Oh, great narrative.
And I would buy it as a business owner. I calculated what he cost me, and it was well over six figures when I patched it up. And while you're going through it, you don't realize what you're doing. And so if you do not hold someone accountable quantitatively, and you tolerate the really great story. And let me tell you how the story starts. The story always starts with the same word. It's like, you're like, so did you set any appointments today? And he's like, well,
yeah, but
when you get
Billy.
when you get you say, oh, Billy.
I do.
A lot. But you cannot tolerate that because you're costing your company so much more money than you would ever imagine.
I had a fun conversation today. You want to hear my story?
I can't wait to hear it, Clay. I can't wait to hear your response.
Many companies hire us to make calls for them. We'll call and we'll set appointments for the business. It happens all the time. We just call, for Elephant in the Room, if we haven't seen you in 90 days, we'll pick up the phone and we'll call you and see how you're doing. We want to invite you back out. I mean, that's what you do. You have to make activity makes more activity. Activity generates revenue. You got to make some calls.
Proactive.
So one guy turns in a call log to my wife, and I'm looking at the call log, and I'm like, okay, so you made 100 calls? So you got to exactly 100, and you stopped at 100. Wow, that's awesome. So you didn't make 96? He's a new guy, so I'm kind of screwing with him.
Yeah,
and he goes, what do you mean? I said, you didn't make 96. I mean, you didn't round it up. You definitely went to 100. He's like, it was 92. I said, yeah.
Well, did you see the word? The word, it keys you off.
As well as it was 92. I said, I don't think it was 92. I think it was a different number. He goes, well, I got to be honest. There was about 80 or so, but I couldn't totally tell. And I'm like, here's the deal. I have caught you being dishonest to me once. One time it's like, oh, I didn't know. The second time it's like, you got to go. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
And the guy goes, hey, okay. And you know what? And I just saw the look in his eye. I saw that connection point. I saw that. I realized, you know what? He understands that I as an employer, you can only expect what you accept. So it's my fault if I accept it. We come back, Thrivers. We're going to teach you where to find great employees.
Okay, managing your money has not been easier. Mint.com is the solution to ambiguous and blind money management. You can effortlessly create budgets that are easy to stick to, or even use one that they make for you. Design budgets that are appropriate for now and put you in position to succeed in the future. Get notifications for weird account charges and receive personalized tips for eliminating fees and saving more money. Check your credit with a free credit score and explore what you can do to improve it to be able to purchase the things that you really want later. Link up the app on your phone, and money management on the go has never been easier. You can even link up your portfolio accounts so you can see your bank accounts and stock values side by side. Mint.com, you got to go check it out, and you can sign up for free. Again, that's mint.com, mint.com. Go sign up right now. It's definitely a game changer for money management.
Broadcasting from the center of the universe, featuring optometrist turned entrepreneur, Dr. Robert Zoellner, and U.S. SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark. This is the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
Hello, Thrive Nation. Welcome back to the Thrivetime Show. It's business school without the BS. And yes, my name is Clay Clark. I'm the father of 5 human kids, and I am the former SBA Entrepreneur of the Year. It is my pleasure to be here with you today. Typically, Dr. Robert Zoellner is here with us, but he's out in Guatemala, yet again, expanding his vast entrepreneurial empire. And so I had to bring in the 2 dudes who know what they're talking about. These are 2 icons of Tulsa business. I bet you there's a 1 in 3 chance that you know either one of these men or you know their business. Okay, so here we go. This is a 1 in 3 chance. It's kind of my own little informal survey. If you're listening right now and you go, yep, I know who they are, or I've heard of the thing, just kind of put your hand up. And it's a Scout's honor thing. So if you don't put your hand up, it's on you, okay? But here we go. So if you know of the elephant in the room, if you know, ask yourself, do I know what the elephant in the room is? There's one at 91st and Yale. Have you ever heard of that? The one at 65th and Lynn Lane. There's one at 16th in Boston. You're like, is that the hair place? Hey, yeah. Now the better question is, have you been in there before? Because if you haven't, our guest here, Justin Moore. Justin, you have a special going right now for anybody who's never been into the Elephant in the Room men's grooming lounge before. If they've never been in, you're saying to all the listeners today, you're saying if you come in and you mention you heard us on the show today, what happens, my friend?
Yeah, so if you're listening to us and you've never been into Elephant in the Room and had the experience that we're known for, your first visit is just $1. We got
$1?
3 locations. Give us a call, 918 918-877-2219. It's our call center. So we're dedicated just to answering the calls for you guys and booking your first experience. But $1 will get you mention you heard us on the radio, and we'd love to book your first visit.
What was your website? I'm sorry, what was your website?
The website is eitrlounge.com.
And I was just eating some Oklahoma Joe's baked beans there while you were talking, so I missed it. Could you tell me your website one more time?
One more
It's
time.
really good beans.
eitrlounge.com. The number is 918-877-2219.
Ooh, nice. And then we also have the co-founder of Trinity Employment. It's Tulsa's #1 staffing company, Mr. Corey Minter, who's decided to enter the dojo of Mojo. Corey, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Clay.
Now, Corey, we're talking about super rule number 3 is where to find great people. Where do you find them? Now, Jack Welch says this. He says, you measure your people and you take action on those that don't measure up. I'm going to repeat it again. This is from Jack Welch, the former CEO of GE, who grew the company by 4,000%. He says, you measure your people and you take action on those that don't measure up, which means you have to go find new people. New people? I don't want there to be turnover. Well, sometimes you have to turn over if you don't have the right people right now, okay? So, Corey, where do you find great people? If I'm looking for great people, I own a business and I'm trying to find great people, where do I go?
Well, you can go first, if you need somebody right away, you can go to trinityemployment.com and check us out, or you can give us a call at 918-622-2588. But if you are trying to really define and raise your level of the performance that you're doing, you want to try to visualize where you want your company to go.
I want my company to go to the top. I want to be over there to the top. I want to be boom. I want to be the man. Boom.
Yeah. Well, you want to visualize where you want to go and see it, and start seeing the type of people that you want to have. See how they interact with your customers, and do not lower your expectations of them, and set your expectations high, and never, ever, ever stop recruiting. But you asked me where to find them.
Where do I find them? Where do you give it to me now?
Well, if you need someone right away, please give us a call. But if you are going to just continually try to find someone, you're better off to find someone in your network. When you even us at Trinity, even though we recruit all the time, we find our best talent through our network and through our social media platforms.
I'm going to argue with you. I'm ready. You ready to argue? Here we go. I'll let you win, but it's going to be a cage fight.
I don't know.
When I started my business, I was an idiot. So everyone I knew was also an idiot.
Okay.
Just by virtue of knowing me. If you knew me, then you were an idiot probably. Or you were someone who's nice who's putting up with an idiot.
Right.
So what would you say to somebody who's starting a business who really doesn't know a lot of people? I mean, if I'm new to town, I don't know people, or maybe I know people, but it's not the good people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm seeing like all my friends going to jail on Facebook. I'm like, this is not a good friend. How do you got to defriend that guy?
I know that guy.
Yeah, I mean, what would be the next step then?
Well, I think the very first step. Now, I don't mean to go way back, but if you would start to visualize where you want to be and start becoming the best you that you can be, as a business person, reading the right things and making sure that you are putting the right kind of information in. You have to become a certain person before you can expect to start being able to be around those of influence. So if you want to be around those people of influence, well, you want to first become that type of person. But there is someone that is at a higher level than what you are, and you will want to reach out to only those people. I strongly suggest that you do not reach out to the people that are where you are at, or where you know that you don't want to be. Don't reach out to them. They're going to take you and keep you in that same level.
You don't want to reach out to unemployed or the free time?
Okay. You guys, Justin, just super negative. I want to ask you though, super negative, Justin. He's always just talking about,
I got a super move though.
Facts. Where are you finding your people, my friend? Where do you find the great people who work at Elephant in the Room? Where do you find
them? So you're going to love this. And if you have a business or want to grow your business, listen. If you don't, plug your ears for a second. But if you want to grow your business, listen.
I do not want to grow it. I don't want to just be stay small. I'm a small business. It's called Oswald's Bagels, and I like to keep it small because I'm Oswald and I make the bagels.
So I want to grow my business, so I'm looking 24/7. As Corey said, becoming the person, knowing what to look for, but 24/7. So for instance, right now, if you cut hair,
Yeah.
Or if you are a man and you get your hair cut, next time you get your hair cut,
Yeah.
ask your stylist, your barber, have you heard of Elephant in the Room? Hey, why don't you go work there? And if that person comes work for me, call me up. I'll pay you money.
You'll pay
Right now.
How much money will you pay if someone brings you a stylist right now? What is the bounty? You're making it's live radio right now.
Live radio.
How much are you putting down?
$300.
$300 right now?
I'll write you a check.
Easy money.
You have someone that comes work for me. Now, this is the thing.
No,
though.
wait, this guy's paying. If you're a listener right now and you're going, I think I know Karen. I think Karen was looking for a job and she cuts hair. I know Billy. Don't send us Billy. Don't send Billy because we know about Billy and we know every time that Billy gets a job, it always happens.
Oh, Billy.
but this is the thing, Clay. Always hiring. It's because I want to grow, right? We got 3 shops.
Yep.
I want to grow. Have 3 shops in 2017. It's right around the corner, and it's going to happen. But it's going to happen because I just put some out there,
Yep.
right? And I'm expecting something back.
Okay, now I'm going to walk you through. These are my 4 things I do every week. Every week, you guys listening right now, I'd encourage you to do it every week as well. We do a job post at Craigslist. We do that every week. We also do a post on social media. It's Facebook, LinkedIn, that kind of thing. Boom. 3, we always post on Monster.com. And 4, we always post on Indeed. But I heard that costs money. Yeah, it costs a lot of money if you have a big old building and nobody working in it. Well, that wasn't very nice at all. I thought this wasn't a good show. No, but the thing is that you have to invest in finding good people. And I'll tell you what, right now, one of the things that we're doing is we are trying to recruit. I've made a job description. I'm trying to find a guy who could come co-host the show one day, just for one day, and I made a job description and I'm going, we're just looking for a guy to co-host for one day whenever Dr. Zoellner's out. He has to sound like Joel Osteen. He has to be a black belt.
Oh.
He has to be a father. He has to own a bank. That's sort of the hard part. It's been hard. His name has to start with a sh.
I know this guy. I know someone like this.
Sean. I'm thinking of a Sean. And his last name.
Is it Sean Copeland?
Yeah, and that's who I'm looking for. So if you're listening right now and you know Sean Copeland, maybe this is the challenge right now, Thrivers. If you don't know who Sean Copeland is, I want you to get on Facebook right now. Everyone has a phone. Get up on that cell phone. And I want you to do a little hotline bling here for me. Go up on that cell phone and look up the name Sean. It's SEAN space Copeland. It's still different than you would think. It's KOUPLEN.
You got it.
And just do a friend request. And if they say, how do you know him? Say, we're very, very close friends.
Yeah, he'll appreciate that.
He will appreciate that. He wants about 400 of them this hour. So Sean Copeland, if you're listening right now and your name is Sean Copeland, we want you to come co-host when Dr. Zoellner is out of town. Now, superfood number 4. This is where it gets really, really specific. Jack Welch says you must understand his 4 E's. You got to know what you're looking for. I mean, once you do post and you start getting applicants, you got to know what you're looking for. You have to know, because if not, you'll settle for what's available. What? That was kind of deep, man. That was kind of deep. I mean, check it out. If you don't know what you want, you will settle for what's available. If you don't know what you want. Justin, you always talk about how you're looking for happy people at Elephant in the Room. What does that mean?
So there's 3 things right off the bat that I look for at a potential team member to team up with.
Okay.
And one is a happy person. If you tend to find yourself smiling a lot and you bring the positive aspects out in others, if you can manage your time, show up to work on time, reliable transportation.
You want me to submit to the tyranny of time management?
That is right. So 1 is happy person, 2 is time management, and 3 is people skills. We're in customer service. So being able to communicate with your team, communicate with the clients. Those 3 things is just getting your foot in the door.
I have something I want to share that might not be popular.
Ooh, baby, I like it raw.
In fact, it's real and raw. Here it is, Thrivers. If you Google right now, get out your phone and Google Google this right now. Just Google what I'm saying to you. Google CBS News, U.S. Chamber, and then the words employee theft, like stealing. U.S. Chamber, CBS employee theft. You will discover they did a study of employees and discovered that 75% of the employees that they surveyed were stealing from the workplace. And if you Google Gallup in actively disengaged. Google that. Gallup, Gallup, and actively disengaged. And you will find that the vast majority of employees openly admit that they are disengaged at the workplace and, in fact, are not even trying. And if you just Google one more thing. Google Inc. magazine average time of an employee spent on social media during the workday. And you'll find that number is over a couple hours. And if you want to get really crazy, if you Google, we have kids who are listening to the show, so it kind of earmuffs here. But if you Google, let's just say adult content when it's consumed, most people over 25% of the people that they found that they were viewing that at work.
On the company computer.
And so now you go, that wasn't very positive. No, the thing is, you cannot accept the first person available. You got to look for these 4 aspects, these 4 key performance indicators that Jack Welch was looking for.
I'm ready for him. Ready for him.
1, positive energy. He has a notable quotable. He says, people with positive energy who just love life. That's how he describes it. He says, I'm looking for people with positive energy who just love life. When they walk into the room, this is what you hear. And they're going, hey, what's going on, guys? Corey, how you doing, man? Well, hey, we had Trinity Employment, man. It's awesome to see you, bro. Woo, you smell terrific. Oh. And there's just a certain energy when you have people like that in the office. But then some people come into work and they just have a negative mojo. Hello. Corey,
It's cold outside.
It's cold outside. I mean, literally, they will complain about everything. They will complain about the weather, when it's too hot, it's too cold. And when they walk into the room, this is what you hear. It's almost like, what? And they create drama. They're going, did you hear what Cheryl said? No, I didn't. What did Cheryl say? Well, I heard Cheryl what she was. I mean, I'm not gonna go on the record, but don't tell anybody. But what I heard was it her baby's mama, her baby's what? Cheryl? I thought Cheryl. Yeah, it's really weird. It's dark.
That's actually some great music for that.
But that's what happens, right? And so when we come back, Thrivers, we're going to get into some specific stories. Corey is going to tell us about the power of hiring people with positive energy and how they find them consistently for Tulsa companies over there at Trinity Employment. When we come back, we're going to be talking about how to find people with positive energy. Stay tuned. Thrivetime Show, Oklahoma Joe's.
This show's episode is brought to you by Moz.com. If you have ever considered the World Wide Web as a viable strategy for your business, you gotta check out this tool. Online marketing is complicated, but Moz software makes it easy. Companies like 99 Designs, Otterbox, and Aaron's, they all use Moz because it works. Explore organic search keywords for your business, research Bing and Google search results for your targeted keywords, and link up Moz Local and Google My Business. Seriously, this tool is crazy powerful with the clarity it brings to online marketing for your business. Even if you're just curious, start a 30-day trial with Moz.com today. It's a game changer for your business. Moz.com, MOZ.com.
You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrivetime Show and inside the audio box that rocks. For many people, you're listening right now and you're going, what is the box that rocks? Well, I'll tell you what the box that rocks is, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. Go to Facebook right now and then search for Thrive15. And there you will find the Facebook Live broadcast of today's broadcast and every broadcast. And you will see that we are located inside the Thrive15.com world headquarters. And we did that because many people go to thrivetimeshow.com every day and they share the podcasts. And then people will listen to it. We have a lady in Sydney, Australia I talked to last week. We had a wonderful lady.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate. We had a lady in Santa Barbara, Florida. We had a guy in Toronto. I just talked to a guy the other day in South Dakota. They're listening to the show, and this young man in South Dakota, he drove here for a Thrive15.com workshop. He drove here. He's a college student. He drove here straight up. He drove all night so he could be back for class. And I talked to the guy, and I said, hey, how did you decide to do it? And he goes, oh, I love your show. I just didn't know if you guys were a real thing or not, because there's so many BSers and charlatans out there on the radio and the podcast. And so I Googled you guys. I went to YouTube and I Googled Thrive15 World Headquarters. I found you guys and I realized, oh my gosh, you're a thing. So I realized I had to come do it, and this was a great thing. So all I'm saying is we broadcast here so you can kind of see the context of our background and our culture and what we're all about. And on today's show, typically on any show, we would have Doctor Robert Zoellner, the optometrist turned tycoon, but he is out expanding his vast entrepreneurial entrepreneurial empire from the country of Guatemala. And so we had to bring in the big guns. We had to bring in some T-Town Oklahomies that know me. We had to bring in some guys who really know their craft. And so we brought in Corey Minter, the co-founder of Trinity Employment, and Justin Moore, the founder of the Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge. And before we left, we're talking about what to look for in key people. And Jack Welch, he wrote a book called Winning, which is on the desk that Corey is currently standing at, called Winning. It's called Jack Welch's book, Winning. And in there, he underlines the 4 E's. And one of the E's, he says, is you have to find people with positive energy. He goes on to say, people with positive energy who just love life. So, Justin, talk to me. If you work at the Elephant in the Room, and if I work at the Elephant in the Room, and this is the scenario, I've been cutting hair all day, and I go, well, Justin, my back hurts a little bit. Just, I want to. Back hurts, and it's so cold. Back hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for me, when someone states that, whether it be inside of work or outside of work, my tummy hurts, my back hurts, it's cold out, I'm cold, right? I just state, so say your back hurts.
Yeah, my back hurts quite a bit.
Hey, Clay, my back feels amazing. I don't know if it feels amazing. It feels absolutely amazing. And by the way, my back feels amazing. And when you say that, they give you this weird look. And they're like, why did you tell me that?
My back hurts. I just told you it hurts.
My back feels amazing.
It hurts so bad.
I'm going to go lift some weights, maybe it feels amazing.
You're not very nice.
But if you don't watch that, like Corey said, that will then create your environment of the complaining, the whining. Then all of a sudden, everyone's backs are hurting, and then everyone's like, let's do back. It gets weird. What
it does. There's a negative gossip spreads. There's a negative contagion there. Corey, why is it so important to recruit when you're out there recruiting and you're searching for positive people to employ? Why is it so important that you find people with a positive energy?
Well, they set the tone for your business, and if we're gonna send someone out, they're gonna set the tone as a representative of our company. But when everybody, if you ever talk to someone who is a great business leader and you ask them what's the key to your success, I've just not ever met with anyone who was really successful that didn't talk about culture and how important that was. And there have been several that have said, it took me several years to realize how important
it doesn't matter. I'll hire anybody with a pulse, overall. If someone has a pulse, they're my kind of guy or gal. Whatever, Yeah,
and so they just don't want to celebrate that kind of attitude. And so leaning in towards positivity, finding someone who generally leans in towards that and has that type of conversation, they're going to affect everyone around them. And what is so crazy is you can have an entire team that is just unbelievably killing it.
Yeah.
And you get one individual that starts the conversation going in the wrong direction. And before long, as a business owner, you think everything's going great, you're having a party, and then before 2 days go by and everybody's in the dumps, and it's all because of this one employee. And so you got to be very careful at tolerating that.
Bro, I think it's super shady how our boss, Corey, he's always coming to work going hey, everybody, how you doing?
You gotta work.
You gotta work. Who's he to make us work? You know what I mean?
He's trying to make money.
It's just all he cares about is money, bro.
What a jerk.
Bro, I've been living in my Volkswagen for so technically my parents' Volkswagen. I've been living there for several years, bro, and I have no issues with money, you know what I mean? Because my parents will pay me my allowance and whatever, and Corey's just all negative. That'll contaminate your entire work environment. You got to be very intentional. Now, the second E, Jack Welch talks about so eloquently in his best-selling book, Winning, the former CEO of GE. He says, the ability to energize others. I love this one. The ability to energize others. And I'll give you an example of a guy who could energize others. This is just something he would do. Just let me give you an example. Here we go. You remember Prince?
Oh, yeah.
Prince, imagine you hired Prince to come into your office. I know he's dead now, rest in peace, Prince, but imagine you brought this guy and you go, hey, guys, we just hired this guy. He wears a lot of purple. But this guy, I'm telling you, I think he's going to be a new talent, and he's going to be performing during lunch. And then there he is. He comes in. Now imagine this guy could entertain. He could infect an entire audience. This guy could fill up at a stadium and make the whole energy of a stadium positive. You talk about the ability of seriously, think about how powerful that is. A lot of people are good at music, but to be able to energize an entire stadium, an arena, that positivity, whether you like Tony Robbins or not, whether you like Prince or not, the ability to contaminate an entire room with positivity and energy, that is magical. And John D. Rockefeller, the world's wealthiest man during his time, he says the ability, I'm paraphrasing, but you can Google this. He says the ability to manage people and lead people is the skill that he's willing to pay more for than any other skill, because no one can do it. It's so hard to do it. So, Justin, there's a lady that we've brought in to the Elephant in the Room, the South Tulsa location. What is this woman's name?
Katie.
Oh, Katie. Now, Katie took the sales numbers, and a lot of men come in and they want to buy a membership, right? And so they'll ask, hey, how much is a membership? She went from basically sharing the membership with 18% of people to like 60% of people just by herself.
Yeah, so we're huge on stats, and we were at a 18% closing rate. You know how long it would take to grow anything at 18%?
It'd be bad. We'd be living in a van down by the river.
So if you can't find the right person, or you don't have the right person, you need to find the right person. So we found the right person in Katie. Right. And actually, Katie came from Hawaii. So
she from Hawaii?
Hawaii, yeah. She left the great.
That's why she's so
Hawaii.
happy.
She came here to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and she's closing at 70%, 65%. So those are some growth numbers right there. So
I think
she has the ability to energize others by just speaking life and then positive, just saying things like, "I can see you doing great things. I believe in you." Reinforcing those positive things.
Corey, talk to me about why is it such a prized possession when your company, Trinity Employment, can bring an energizer into a business that was stagnant? Why is that such a game changer?
Well, because if a company has a culture that is at a lower level, bringing just one individual in can really change the ball game. Just one positive individual can raise everybody else around them. And really, it's the same thing as if you hire leaders and you find someone who's a leader, it will raise your entire organization and give you a hope and an ability to do some great things.
Now, Thrivers, when we come back from Oklahoma Joe's, we're going to be talking about Jack Welch's third E, his third move of what you look for in great people. We come back from Oklahoma Joe's.
Right now, how are you taking credit card payments for your business? It's never been faster or easier to begin taking credit card payments for your business than with Square. You know the little white square that plugs into your phone's headphone jack? It's awesome. This payment app is great for businesses such as food trucks, beauty salons, and retail shops. The users receive a small portable card reader that they can attach to a phone or other mobile device to take fast and convenient payments. The way it works is that it subtracts 2.75% of every time a card is run, and it does it automatically. So if you sell a sandwich for $20, you'll see a net gain of $19.45 in your bank account the next day. If you enter the card by hand, it costs 3.5% plus 15 cents on top of that. They encrypt everything so you know you're secure. They make it super clear to start and even offer bonuses for sharing with friends. So you can learn more at squareup.com. It's free to download and works on all devices and operating systems. So make sure that you go visit squareup.com.
Live, local, now. You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
Uh-oh, it's the Thrivetime Show. We are destroying poverty one show at a time. You see, if you've had your head in a bad position, your head is stuck here, so your head has been stuck in sort of a negativity cloud. You've just been unable to be positive, and you're going, all I want to do is talk about politics and just anger, and I'm just frustrated with the liberals or the conservatives or the people who want to build the wall. Could you believe the fact that people would want to build a wall? People are just, if you're just so frustrated and you're going, insurance costs are too high, and you're just, I want reform, and there's a place for that, I guess. But today's show and every show we do here is about how you can specifically change your own life. There's a lot of things you can't control, but successful people know how to focus on what they alone can control. Again, you can't change other people. You can't change the economy. You can't change who just got elected. But what you can change is what you do on a daily basis. You can change who you are. You can change the action steps that you take. And really, success is nothing but the the sum total of the daily action steps that you take every day, minute by minute, hour by hour, compounded over time, that's what success is. You sow those seeds, you are going to bear fruit eventually. And today we're talking about this concept of how to find great people, how to find great employees. And so to make it happen, we brought on the founder of the Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge, Justin Moore. Justin, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing amazing.
And I'll tell you what, Justin's business is thriving. It's growing. He's got a great team of people that he loves to have on the team. And we in just a minute, I'm going to come back to him and ask him about some of the great changes that have been happening out there at that South Tulsa location. And we have Corey Mentor. Corey Mentor is the co-founder of Trinity Employment Specialists. If you're trying to find a great employee, and I know you are, Trinity Employment can help you do it. Corey, how you doing, my friend?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm trying to figure out how in the world in life I've gotten myself to a place where I get to hang out with you on a radio show. How did that happen?
Well, the thing was you lost a series of bets, and the bets when if you lose, you have to hang out with this pasty male who never goes outside.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Clay. Thanks.
Hey, now here's the deal. Yeah. We're talking about Jack Welch and his 3 E's, and one of them is edge. He says this is what you're looking for from people. You're looking for the 4 E's. You're looking for people that can bring energy, positive energy. 2, people that can energize others. But 3, people that have edge. So I'm going to read you this notable quotable. He says, anyone can look at an issue from every different angle. Some smart people can and will analyze those angles indefinitely. Is that you, Thrivers? Are you the one who never makes a decision? Are you the one who's thinking? If that's you, don't make eye contact. Just keep looking down and eating your Oklahoma Joes. But effective people know when to stop assessing and make a tough call, even without total information. He goes on to say, strong managers who make tough decisions to cut jobs provide the only true job security in today's world. Weak managers are the problem. Weak managers destroy jobs. Ooh. So, Justin, I'm going to start with you. Elephant in the Room, South Tulsa, it's been growing. Broken Arrow's been growing. Downtown's been growing. You've got some great managers there, and they're getting better and better all the time. Talk to me about how the business has been able to grow since you've been able to bring in more and more people that have edge. You can make that tough call about who to have on the team and who not to have on the team.
Yeah, so the managers are going to set the standards. They're going to set the environment, and their team is going to adjust to that, whether it be up or down. So holding people accountable. So first and foremost, they're going to show up on time. They're going to have their smile. They're going to reassure everyone that they're going to have a great day, and they're going to have that leader that's going to help problem solve. Because you're going to be throwing problems every day, whatever you're doing in your business. But your ability to adjust and not take that problem and just shut down the day. Just got to keep on going. Just a little speed bump, whatever it is. So the edge is being able to whatever that thing is, be able to accomplish it and get over it for the day.
I want to ask you this, Thrivers. Listen to this. Imagine that Thrivers, you're on a date, but it's not a date. You're a woman. Okay, you're a single woman, and there's a single man. Imagine this scenario. Okay, you're a single woman. He's a single man, and he goes, "Hey, Cheryl, you want to get some ice cream?" So you're at Brahms. You're at Brahms. You're going out to Brahms, okay? And he says, "Hey, let's go to Brahms." You said, "Sure." So you get in the car, and as soon as you get in the car, he does this.
At Brahms.
Well, on the way to Brahms.
And
he says, "So Cheryl, how you doing?" And she says,
"How you doing?"
"What, Craig? How you doing?" Just nothing wrong with two friends listening to the Songbird by Kenny G, right?
Lights went down.
Yeah, you need my new dimmable lights here. I got
real
those fluorescent lights from the Brahms sign.
Is it
coming in the car?
Is it okay if I burn my incense while we drive to Brahms? Is that cool? Cheryl, are we cool? Because are we cool? Well, all of a sudden it gets weird because the ambiance changed. There are people that can make things awkward all the time. And I'm telling you, if you don't have the ability to make the tough call as a manager, you're going to put out the wrong signals into the marketplace. I don't care how good you are at your business. If you're surrounded by idiots, your business is not going to do well. And the problem is, we're all told in school, don't judge people.
No.
You're wrong. If you were told that, you should judge people if you own a business. You got to, because if not, the customers are going to judge you. Corey, am I wrong? Are customers going to walk into a business and go, "I'm not judging the business at all. Although all the food tastes bad and the service is dirty and weird. Bathroom has a certain taint
Your
to
judgment ability is probably going to set the tone of how good or the quality of your service, I would guess.
And I'll tell you this: when I think about banking, going to a bank, I'm a judger. I won't go into a bank unless that bank is the CEO of the bank has a certain swag. Unless the CEO kind of sounds like Joel Osteen. Unless he has a certain sort of a nice charm to him, unless you see him and you feel like you're talking to Tulsa's Joel Osteen, I won't go in. I won't go into a bank unless they have a certain class to them. And when I do go into a bank, the bank that I typically go into, it has to. The CEO of the bank sets the tone, and so I won't go into a bank unless the CEO of the bank is Sean Copeland, for instance. That's just an example. So if you're listening right now and you're going, I want a bank like that. I want a bank where the CEO is like a Joel Osteen. That's kind of cool. I mean, do they offer suckers too? Oh. No one provides more suckers than Sean Copeland.
That's right.
He has the adult-sized suckers. He'll provide them to you. He'll give you a high five and an adult-sized sucker with every deposit. Go in there and go into Regent Bank and go find my main man, Sean Copeland. Give him a high five, send him a text, and say, oh, my gosh, Sean, you are really setting the emotional tone in this business. You have the edge. Now, Thrivers, seriously, if you're listening right now and you're saying, I have a manager in my office who doesn't have the edge. And Corey, coach me. If I'm listening right now and I don't have the right management on my team, I don't have the people on my team who have the edge, where can I find such people?
You can find such people at trinityemployment.com if you're looking to try to find someone who is an A player. If you have the idea that you are tired of tolerating B and C level players, you got to come talk to us.
Now, Thrivers, I'm telling you what, this afternoon, you got to make sure that this afternoon is a great afternoon. Okay, I'm going to call you out. You don't want a mediocre lunch. You don't want to go to some rando convenience store and go in there and get some old, Quick Trip sandwiches are beautiful. They're great sandwiches. But you don't want to have like a nasty tuna sandwich. No, you deserve more from your life. You're the kind of people who need a great lunch. And so if you're listening right now, and you want a great lunch, I have the edge. I'm going to tell you, go to Oklahoma Joe's or throw your afternoon away. I mean, you're just throwing it away. You might even have
It's not going to be good. It's not going to be nearly as good.
Go in there and take the challenge. Get the baked beans. Get the burnt ends. It's going to be a game changer. Now, Thrivers, when we come back, we're going to get into our final E, Jack Welch's final E. And I'm telling you what, Jack Welch was the CEO of GE who grew the company by over 4,000% during his tenure. And you know what he did? He wrote a book called Winning, which I'm sure you've read, but if you haven't read it, go on Facebook Live right now. You can see the book right there. It's on the table.
It's one of my favorite books.
And he distills the 4 E's. And you want to know what the magical 4th E is? Do you want to know? Well, we're going to tell you when we come back, the 4th E.
Are you looking to start or grow a business? Then you are definitely going to have problems and questions along the way. You will find the answers to all of your business questions at Thrive15.com. Thrive15.com provides online video-based business training taught by millionaires and successful entrepreneurs for less than $1 per day. That's less than your daily coffee budget. It's no classrooms, no get-rich-quick seminars. These are trainings broken into 15-minute segments that get you the answers that you need. It's business school without the BS. I dare you to try a 7-day free trial. Simply go to Thrive15.com, and the first 100 people will also receive a free downloadable for how to optimize your website. So stop wasting your time and money. Go to Thrive15.com and get your business questions answered now.
You're listening to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrivetime Show, your audio dojo of mojo faux show. And as always, I am always joined with some of the top Tulsa business people. But today, you are in for an audio treat because I'm telling you what, we are joined here with a guy who was crazy enough. He was nuts enough. He lost his mind long enough to start his own business. His name is Justin Moore. He's the founder of the Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge. And another guy who lost his mind. He just lost his marbles. According to Forbes, 57% of you want to start or grow a business. But you know what the number one reason why people don't start businesses is?
What's that?
They're afraid.
Fear.
And this guy looked fear in the face, and he's like, you know what, fear? I'm going to give you I'm gonna come over there and put you in a headlock because I'm gonna start my own business. His name is Corey Minter. He's the co-founder of Trinity Employment. Corey, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Good afternoon, everybody.
Now, before we get into this 4th E, and everyone wants to know, what are Jack Welch's 4 E's? If you're looking for great people, what are you looking for? Jack Welch, the CEO, grew GE by 4,000%. And he says, you're looking for these 4 E's. Guys, listen, he's saying this is what he did. This is the move. You want to be the most successful CEO ever? Look for these 4 E's. Some people go, yeah, but GE, don't they just make refrigerators? No, they make medical devices. They make jet engines. They bought RCA. They produced the Seinfeld show. The Seinfeld show? Yeah, they lent money. They have credit cards. They have every industry all on lock. This is GE, one of the world's biggest companies. This is the 4 E's. This is gold. But before we get into the 4th E, Corey, we have a survey we're going to do now. A survey. Justin, we're going to do a survey.
I can't wait.
And we're going to do is a lot of people want to. We have a lot of listeners who are listening, and they've been asked a lot. People say, how many people on average listen to the show? Because a lot of people have been listening to Rush Limbaugh for years.
Right.
And they changed the station, and now they found the Thrivetime show, and they're going, this is business school without the BS. This is a positive place. But how many people actually listen? And so right now, if you know Sean Copeland and you're listening right now, how about this? If you're just listening right now.
I know Sean Copeland.
You know Sean? Justin, you know Sean?
I'm texting him right now.
Okay,
right
so
now.
if you're listening right now.
Should I text him right now?
Yeah, if you're listening right now, if you're listening right now, go to Facebook and search for the name Sean Copeland.
Oh, Facebook, not
SEAN.
text.
We're going to go, because I'm not going to give out his cell phone number on the phone yet. But we're going to go.
Right,
so what you want to do, go onto Facebook,
right.
and you want to search on Facebook for Sean. It's SEAN, and then Copeland, KOUPLEN. I'm going to give you a moment here, Sean Copeland. And what you want to do is you want to go ahead and send him a private message, or you can send a message, even if you're not a friend.
Yeah,
you can send him a message, or you can request to be his friend. But just say, Thrivetime Show says hello. And by the way, Corey Mentor is hiring right now at Trinity Employment, and we know of many banks that are looking for a CEO and owner. So,
right.
right? I mean, Corey, do you know some banks right now that are hiring? I mean, if he wants he wants to get a job as a teller or a bank head, I mean, you probably could help him find a job, right?
Oh, Sean, if you can hear me, I would love to help you find a job. Please give me a call. You can call Trinity Employment at 918-622-2588. We'd love to talk with you.
Okay, now here we go. This is the 4th E. The 4th E is execute. Execute. Jack Welch says this. He says, I mean a heartfelt, deep, and authentic excitement about work. These people just get it done. Justin, when you built Elephant in the Room and you finally found out how to get customers through the door, what were you doing? And how did you first get your first customers? I mean, how did you you built it, you decorated it, you had the vision. How did you finally get the first customers through the door?
Well, back in the day when we first started, it was a little different than now.
Oh, yeah, back in the day.
But the original guys that came in, I personally called them and
on the phone?
On the phone, and just I knew how to communicate, talk to people, and sell. So I had this script written, so it's pre-written. And I knew how they were going to react based off other people reacting. But it was, hey, Mike, this is Justin with Elephant in the Room with a new big thing in town. You probably heard of us.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And your friend was just in, and we wanted to invite you out. He said that you would love their experience out here, so I wanted to comp the first service. It's on us. So does tomorrow or Saturday work best for you?
Ooh, assuming the close.
Right,
Build
just
rapport.
assume, right? And just went along. But guess what? His friend had never came in, wasn't in.
Oh, come on. You didn't see the ethics. But anyway, so now once you found out the system that worked, you then had to teach someone else to do it. Now, here's the thing I saw, and you tell me if you disagreed. You could do it, and you could sit there and literally make 100 calls and probably set up 10, 15 haircuts just by, if they answered the phone, you were going to book them.
Oh, yeah. And those they showed up, they got the membership.
But then you delegate it to the next person.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the first guy you delegated it to, and he's like, I made calls for like 10 minutes and no one even answered. This doesn't even work.
That was someone who's related to us.
We can whoa.
We have
maybe
some family drama going on.
No, not anymore. We did a little excommunication.
But when you find all your flyers in the trash that were supposed to go out to all the local businesses,
then you discover that he might or might not.
So he wasn't executing. It's the 4th E, right? He wasn't executing.
Let's just say that Adam was kicked out of the Garden of Eden.
We executed him, you could say.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but the thing is that he did not execute the system. And Maya Angelou, she's the best-selling author. She says this. She says, nothing will work unless you do. I'm going to let you marinate on that for a second.
That's what she told me when I met her.
Really?
We sat down.
Wow.
And,
Your good friend, Maya Angelou.
Oh,
she says that she was the lady who spoke at President Obama's inauguration. She says,
that's where I met her.
Nothing will work unless you do. Corey.
Yes.
Execute. Why is it so important that you have to find people who can, at the end of the day, regardless of what the resume says, they have to be able to get stuff done?
Yeah. Especially when you are interviewing someone, this is a remarkable thing. You guys, I know what I'm talking about, and that is, when you meet someone and they blow your mind. In the interview. You cannot wait. You are hopeful. You can't. This is sick.
We're gonna make some money. Is that what you're thinking?
Oh yeah, you got the new person. You got the chosen one. Woo!
You cannot wait.
Yep.
And then, sometimes it happens in week 1. Sometimes it happens the first day.
Here it
and
comes.
then all of a sudden, this person that you thought was so wonderful, what happened to
I'm
that
sick.
Where did they
not
go?
coming in.
Where did they go?
Yeah.
And so a lot of people like the idea of working hard. They like talking about working hard. But when it comes to doing it, the reality is that most Americans, they don't work hard. That's why it's so important to make sure that you find A players in your business.
Check it out. Now this just in, we have an audio sample. This is from the Trump administration. This is not a political show, but this was released earlier today. It might or might not have been released from the Trump administration, but this is what will happen if you do not work hard under the Trump administration.
Now you kids are probably saying to yourselves, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get the world by the tail and wrap it around and pull it down and put it in my pocket. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're probably going to find out as you go out there that you're not going to amount to jack squat.
This just in.
Wow, man.
So, and the thing
Donald
is,
Trump.
well, that wasn't.
He sounded a little bit different.
Yeah, he had modulated his voice. No, but seriously, this is the thing about America, is in the capitalistic system that we're in. People that don't have discipline and they can't get it done, they're not very employable. Okay, and I'm going to say something that I believe to be true, but it's going to be like, oh my gosh, that guy. I don't know if I like that guy anymore. But here we go. The unemployment rate in America right now, they say it's 5%. Then some people say it's 6%. Some people say, well, but if you count the people that quit looking, it's actually like 10%. Or I believe it should be 50%.
Whoa.
That's my
50%.
thing. Yeah, I mean, based on the people that I interview.
Okay.
Based on the people I interview, where it's like, so in our office, I'm just going to pick on our team real quick here. We've got a guy out there named Andrew right now, and he does what he's supposed to do. He's great. He always does what he's supposed to do. So you know what? I like him.
I like Andrew. I don't even know him, but
And Shrita out there. Shrita, you ask her to do something, and guess
Shrita,
what?
Yeah, Shrita's on it.
She does it.
I like Shrita.
Sam the man, our producer, he does what he's supposed
Sam the
to
man.
do. There he
What's
is.
up, Sam?
Sam, can you hop on the camera real quick so people can see your beautiful face real quick? Just real quick. That's just a beautiful
It is.
face.
Look at that
Wow.
beard. What do you think of
yeah.
that beard
Yeah,
there,
it's
Justin? Is that a quality beard?
Beard game is strong.
Yeah.
Beard game is strong.
And you know why I like him? Because in Proverbs 10:4 says that God blesses the hand of the diligent and punishes the slackard. And I see so many people, they can't show up to work on time. They can't talk with respect. They can't dress to impress when they're trying to get a job. They just don't do the basic minimum, and therefore they deserve to not be successful. And as a business owner, I have to decide, do I want to fire them or do I want my customer to fire me? I have to decide that. So Thrivers, listen right now. If you're struggling to find top talent, go to trinityemployment.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. And if you are wanting to make $300, send an email to info@eitrlounge.com. And if you know somebody who's a hairstylist, send a lead to Justin Moore. He'll pay you $300 if it works out. And Thrivers, if you're listening right now, you have 3 game-changing decisions you can make today. 1, are you going to do nothing with this information? I think I just want to listen to information and really not do anything.
Knowledge
It's like
without application.
that's something people like to do. But here's the other 2 options you can do. 1, you can go to Thrive15.com. It's the world's best business school. And it's $19 a month. You have access to thousands of videos taught by millionaires, mentors, and everyday success stories. And if you can't afford it, you can set your own price. I could set my own price?
Ooh.
What? Yeah, we can do that. It's kind of Bernie Sanders of us. Or option 2, you can sign up for an in-person workshop or one-on-one business coaching. Where can you do it? Go to thrivetimeshow.com or thrive15.com. But as always, Thrivers, we are so excited that you let us share this afternoon here with you. Get out to Oklahoma Joe's. Send Sean Copeland a text or a Facebook invite. And as always, 3, 2, 1, boom!